and welcome to the Raptors Republic post-game show, the wrap-up. We just saw the Raptors get beat by the Atlanta Hawks, 108-103.
Yep.
I'm Oren Weisfeld, and I'm here with my co-host, as always, Sahal Abdi. First of all, how you doing, man? How's your day?
I'm good. I love mentioning the weather nowadays because I feel like it's finally getting warm all around the city. So it wasn't like great weather. I think it was around 15 degrees, but I made the most of it. Took a nice walk, listened to a nice podcast on my walk, did some grocery shop. It was nice. It was a nice day for me. Obviously, it didn't finish all that well with Toronto losing tonight, but it is what it is. A loss is a win, Oren. No.
Yeah, it's whatever. Honestly, I'm numb to it. Yeah, I enjoyed the weather too, though. Today was nice.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I guess. What did you think of that game? What did you think about the Hawks tonight? Was it more of a case of the Hawks kind of winning and just playing really well, or did the Raptors kind of shoot themselves in the foot?
Oh man, this is a game where Atlanta's missing their best player, right? They're missing not only Trae Young, who we'll get into whatever the hell he decided to wear today. That was an abomination. That was something I never want to see an NBA athlete or really anybody who decides to go out in public do that again. That outfit was...
We'll get into it.
Okay, yeah, we'll get into that. But Trae Young was out of the game, right? John Collins, I believe, wasn't there as well. So for me, Oren, this is my thing because with Toronto, it's I feel like they've struggled against almost all teams that are missing their top players. And for me, when the Atlanta Hawks are missing their best playmaker and their best scorer, a guy who in Trae Young who almost unlocks Clint Capella, who takes Clint Capella, oh my gosh, it's a tongue twister, Clint Capella to another level. Clint had an amazing game tonight, and that's not far from what we've seen before from him. 19 points, 21 rebounds, really just a 20-20 game from Clint Capella. I saw a lot of things I liked from Toronto in this game. A Pascal Siakam performance that was incredible, 13 for 19, 30 points. Didn't get to the free throw line, Oren, as much as I would have liked for Pascal. But yeah, to answer your question, I don't know. I don't know how we don't win a game like this with Trae Young, John Collins out. They played a guy named Brandon Goodwin for 37 minutes tonight.
6 to 12, 3 threes.
Yeah, 18 points. Like he played well. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how Toronto loses a game like this. Yes, you're missing, Kyle, and yes, you're missing Fred. You still have Siakam. You still have OG. You still have Gary Trent. You have your front court reinforcements now in Kem Birch and Gillespie. Rodney Hood is back, right? You're not giving Stanley Johnson and Aaron Baines all that much minutes, really, because I believe they were DMPs for the second straight game since Kem Birch has been active. So it's like, who are you to blame now? Like, what is it? Because it's not Siakam. Everybody was getting on Siakam last time, Oren, right? Last game. What is this? Like, what are we watching? The bench was like non-existent. Chris Boucher wasn't there tonight. He wasn't there. Took only 3 shots in 24 minutes. Kem Birch had a great game, but other than that, Rodney Hood 3 for 10. Gillespie's not going to score all that much for you. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I'm ranting at this point. What did you think about the game?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with a lot of things you said. Capella killed us, and that's kind of been the story all season. Like, this is a Chris Boucher just needs to be better. I mean, I feel like they're starting him just because they're easing Birch into it, and they want Boucher to develop and he has to get out of this shooting slump first and foremost. And I guess they think maybe starting him is going to help him do that. Regardless of what it is, Boucher was just not able to keep up with, Capella's, his length, his athleticism, his timing. He killed him inside and he killed him on the boards. And Boucher was only 1 for 3 for the entire game. I thought that was a big matchup. Bogdanovich runs that pick and roll with Capella pretty well. And even though Trae Young wasn't in the game, they killed them from 3. That was the biggest story. They got pretty open shots. Yeah. They got 43% from 3, and the Raptors shot 25%. But that's not an excuse at this point in the season. I don't think the Raptors have any more excuses. I just think like they need to figure out how to finish games. They didn't shoot well from three, but like
No.
we know that we've said all season they're too reliant on the three ball. It's a high variance team. When they don't shoot the three ball well, they tend to not score very well, 103 points tonight. And like that's been the problem. They need to figure out more ways to get looks at the rim, efficient mid-range shots. And Siakam did that, but otherwise, Gary Trent 3 for 15, obviously a bad game. Malachi 8 for 18. Hood 3 for 10. So just not very. And then, oh man, we have to talk about that Chris Boucher 3. I'm gonna pull it up right now. But
Oh my goodness.
12 on the shot clock. I looked and I was like, oh, the shot clock must be at like 3. He had to take that, right?
This was one of those games for me, Oren, where Chris Boucher has some games where you're just like, what the hell is going on? Like, I don't know. Like, I watch a guy like Kem Birch, who's it's his second game here, and he's outplaying Chris Boucher by a lot. But Chris Boucher, like, that's never been your shot, ever.
Right.
Even in a season where, Chris Boucher has an extended role, right? A guy who's been playing a lot of 5, a guy who's been undersized versus a lot of centers, a guy who's been relied on Toronto to sometimes shoot 15, 20 shots a game. Excuse my language, but what on God's green earth was Chris Boucher thinking there? Like that, I was literally in shock when he shot that. I don't understand what made him think. Look at Pascal.
Yeah, you can see.
What? We're going to play this one more time, and I want everybody to just watch Pascal. Forget about Chris Boucher for a sec. Watch 43. So he has the ball now. And just keep your eyes on Pascal. He flares back out when Malachi moves out of the way. And just watch him right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what Chris was thinking. That is probably the worst possible shot that Toronto could have came up with in that situation. And Chris Boucher is probably like last on the rung as well in terms of who you want taking that clutch shot. I want, at this point, after what I saw tonight, I want Malachi taking that shot before him. Definitely. I want Pascal taking a clutch shot before him. OG, like every single player on that floor, Gary Trent Jr. Why is Chris Boucher shooting that, Oren? I don't know. I don't know.
It was kind of uncharacteristic of him, to be honest. It's not like this is like a problem of his where he's a ball hog. Like he does like to shoot when he has an open shot, but you rarely see him like try to do something off the dribble when the defense or the offense is stalled like it was here. So the reason I noticed that the shot clock was at 12 was because I noticed Siakam's reaction right off the jump. And I was like, oh, he's mad. And then I was like, oh, there's 12 seconds on the shot clock. Of course he's mad. Like, that was just a really weird decision. And then I have another clip here of this to me was more, the clip I'm about to show was honestly more of like the game changer. What do we call it? The TSN, the wrap-up turning point.
Yeah, the wrap-up turning point, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was this. I think this was a huge, this really put the cap on their run here. And Trent really messes this one up. You just can't go in for the steal when you're defending this 2-on-1. He basically is the weak side guy who has to take 2 guys at once. And the worst thing you can do here is try to go for a steal and then give them 2 open shooters. You have to either choose a guy or stunt in between them.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got to stunt in between both of them. That's something you would think, Gary Trent would probably know. I know he was going for the home run with the steal, but if that's a Kyle Lowry, he's definitely staying in between those 2 guys. And it's just it's all about percentages, like
right.
Because if you miss this, like Gary Trent did, it's a wide open 3. I don't care who that is, Brandon Goodwin, Trae Young, it could be anybody in the league, and they're hitting that shot. So it's all about percentages. Gary Trent Jr., he stunts in between both those guys. He's essentially guarding both of them because the rotation isn't that far away. And who's that on the top? That's Solomon Hill as well. So, I mean, Brandon Goodwin shoots it. Solomon Hill's beside him. Could have just stayed in between them, but I mean, it is what it is. He went for the home run. Wasn't the right decision. Kudos to Bogdanovich, though. Like, that was a great pass considering – the situation he was in, almost out of bounds, off balance. So shout out to him. He had a great game as well.
Yeah,
a lot of
really good
clutch shots from him.
Yeah, he's been on fire as of late. I was writing the preview tonight for Raptors Republic, and he's been like 50-50, 85 from shooting splits in the last like 10 games. He's really carried them, especially the last couple games with Trey out. He scored 32 2 nights ago in their Memphis win, and he had 23 tonight. And Kevin Herter, I thought, was also really good for them.
He was huge. Kevin Herter hit some big shots. I was shocked that Atlanta a lot of times was okay with Bogdan going one-on-one with OG Anunoby, and OG was guarding him so well on so many shots, and he's just a shot maker. I saw it even in FIBA. This guy can just hit shots. It's really just as simple as that. Mid-range, he's a very good off-the-dribble shooter, spot-up shooter, and clearly that's a very good playmaking play from Bogdan, finding Brandon Goodwin at the top of the key. Shout out to him. Huge game.
I just took in. He's Croatian, right?
Is he Croatian?
Or I thought it was him and Jokic were on the same team.
I'm about to check right now.
Okay.
Get us in the live comments. What do you guys think? Serbian.
Wait, where is Jokic from? Serbia,
Serbian
right?
As well.
Yeah, okay. So I was going to say, like, now with the Jamal Murray injury, obviously that sucks. I hope he makes a full recovery. One of the funnest players in the league.
Oh, man.
But after that, Serbia has a real chance of winning the Olympics because they got Jokic now probably who will commit there.
Yep.
If they leave early and they got Bogdanovic, I don't think the Hawks are making any noise in the playoffs. I hate to say it.
They got Bogdanovic. They got Jokic. They got Nemanja Bjelica. They got who's another guy that I've seen? They got Boban. Shout out to Boban, one of the funnest players in the league, 7'3". You're not dunking on him. You're not really doing anything on him. But yeah, they got a great team. They made noise in the in the FIBA World Cup. So that's a really good basketball player that I felt people weren't really giving a fair shake to in Bogdan, because he was still kind of trying to find his way on this Atlanta team. When he signed with them, he was supposed to go to the Bucks, if you remember correctly, in the offseason. And then he's like, hell no. So, misery, Milwaukee Bucks misery it's always a good,
I think the league vetoed that one because I don't know, because they leaked it too early or something.
Oh yeah, that was bad. That was just all bad. And apparently, from what I'm hearing, Giannis is a big fan of him. I don't know if they're friends or whatever it is off the court, but he specifically asked, according to one of the reports I read in the offseason, he specifically asked for Bogdanovic. So, but hey, you got Drew Holiday. So,
I got a quote here from Nick Nurse on Malachi Flynn. So I feel like we should talk about him because he was great. Malachi. He honestly almost gave us a chance to win it.
Malachi. Goodness gracious. What a performance in the clutch. Again, the Raptors didn't get it done, but you're right when you said the Raptors weren't really shooting all that well from three until Malachi went crazy. Yeah. He went absolutely insane late in the game. He ended with 22 points, 8 for 18, 6 for 13 from three, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and a couple steals. So Malachi had a very good all-around game, but forget the box score for a sec. What he did in the clutch was incredible. There's a quote here you guys are reading from our good friend Vivek Jacob, formerly from Raptors Republic. Nick Nurse on Malachi Flynn's late game heroics of late. Quote, I think it says a lot. Tonight he was pretty much our offense down the stretch. End quote. And that, for me, Oren, that's the absolute truth, because they weren't really getting things out of Gary Trent Jr., right? Pascal Siakam, I wasn't really sure, Oren, why they weren't going to him more late in the game. And I feel like this is, I don't know, maybe I'm overreacting a bit, Oren, but I feel like this has been a little bit of a constant with the Raptors, where Pascal will be having a very, very good game, and they don't really give him the ball all that much. I mean, overall, does it really matter? Not hugely, because Malachi Flynn took over. So, but I feel like in a game where Pascal Siakam is 13 for 19 with 30 points, not really missing shots, why aren't they going to him more often? It's as much as Malachi had a great, fourth quarter, it's kind of weird that the Raptors have to rely on him, so much, no?
No, it is, but like I think to Siakam's point, um, first of all, I give Siakam credit
Yeah,
because he gave. I remember for one of the threes, I think the second last three. Yeah, he gave it to Malachi, like you go, you, and then Malachi pulled up for three, kind of out of transition. But that was really Siakam, and like the Raptors need to figure out a way to kind of manage this stuff, as in who's going to close out games for them. How's because there's times when Malachi and Siakam are on the floor. Earlier this game, I was noticing, like I wrote down, where it feels like they're taking turns and it's very weird. The energy is weird. Siakam will shake his head if Malachi dribbles up the floor without instead of giving it to him. And it's like one gets a turn, then the other gets a turn.
yeah,
But as the game went along, they like I give credit to Siakam because he gave Malachi that chance to kind of take them home, and Malachi almost got them there. But I agree with you in general. They don't. There's definitely too many games where he's hot and they kind of don't give the ball to him. And devil's advocate would say like, well, he hasn't been very good in the clutch this season. And they usually give him the last shots of the game. Like I'll give them that. Like tonight, even they gave him like he missed a layup down the on the in like with 30 seconds left, and obviously he's not been good in clutch situations this season. So that's a fair gripe. I don't know, but um, in general, there's also like the last 5 minutes. It's often he doesn't touch it until the last shot of the game, and
yeah.
that is questionable when he's this hot, and teams like the Hawks just tend to not defend him well.
I just don't get it, or in how, in the Pascal great games, we don't give him those clutch opportunities, and then the games where he's iffy or not really having a great game, we give him those opportunities. Like the logic isn't really all there for me. I don't understand it, and a lot of people in the comments were commenting about Pascal. We have Phoenix Plays Z, who's usually here with us every other night, where he says Malachi almost pulled a McGrady. And if you guys know Tracy McGrady, I think, or in what he's talking about is the 13 and 33 seconds when he was a member of the Houston Rockets. That was one of the best moments. I didn't get to see it live, but I did get to see it on highlights, I believe, the night after or the night of. And yeah, Tracy McGrady is different. I was no, I was gonna say I was kind of sad because I feel like Pascal a lot of times gets the brunt of the damage that Raptors fans can give out, and a lot of times it's I understand it, like I get it. Like the last game, I get it, right?
Yeah, the last game I
get it. A lot of people look at Pascal and they're like, well, Kawhi left and you were supposed to be the number one on this team. And last year, you could say that he did play like a number one. I mean, if you're all NBA second team, you are essentially a number one. Struggled in the bubble a little bit, and then this season it's been up and down. Overall, I guess considering all the circumstances, Oren, you could say Pascal's had a pretty good season. Obviously, it's been overshadowed with things like the in and outs. I feel like he's had 6 in and out buzzer beating shots this year.
Oh man, there's a montage of that.
Yeah, it's
I'm not
crazy.
gonna play it actually.
Yeah, don't play it.
It's so sad. It's ridiculously sad.
This is a group therapy session with us and everybody watching, but don't play that. I feel like everyone can watch that on their own time. It hurts, man. Pascal's been so close so often. You can say he chokes, you can say he's not clutch. That's fine. Not every star in the league is clutch. That's totally fine for you to say. But, I've heard some wild things like, trade him. I'm not a fan of that. He's not, you hear everything with Pascal. He's not that great. He's not this. He's not that. You never really hear, people when Pascal has a great game. I mean, even in these, not to call out the people in the comments, but I'm not seeing a lot of Pascal love in the comments.
No, you're right.
Like I see Jesse over here says we wasted a good Pascal game, right? But I feel like it's tough. Like Pascal's in a tough situation where the good is overshadowed a lot of times with the bad.
Yeah, but that's like across the NBA. It's like I remember Jamal Murray just a few days ago tweeted something along the lines of, "It's crickets when I'm dropping 30, but it's like a lot of talk when I have an off shooting night." And like So it happens across the NBA. There's too many casual fans. Like this is genuinely the problem with online discourse is that there's like very casual fans who just want to like give off their opinion, even though they watched Jamal Murray like once, like every 2 months, and
Yeah.
then they're just like, oh, they catch an off night and they're like, he's terrible. And they run with the narratives too. But anyways, that's it. Yeah, Siakam definitely gets that. And I think to a bad extent with Raptors fans and general NBA fans, because a lot of general NBA fans don't watch the Raptors. They catch like the Knicks game yesterday. That's the only game they'll catch for a month. And then they'll see Pascal put up a dud and they'll be like, oh, he's not worth his contract. He's bad. But yeah, great game. Like, honestly. Flynn, also a great game. And then the other guy, you have any more thoughts on Flynn or want to move on?
Ooh, I like that zoom in for a sec. No, don't ever do that again.
That's an accident.
Malachi Flynn. Yeah, he played fantastic. I've said it before on previous shows where every single game this is very good for him. As much as it's crazy to say, losses are a bad thing for an organization. No team wants to lose as many games as the Raptors are losing. But in these losses, you can find good points. And one of those good, points has been Malachi Flynn. For me, Malachi Flynn, every game like this, he doesn't do that in his first game. What you guys just saw in that clip, he doesn't do that. And yes, you can say, I believe the time was running out, if I'm not mistaken. Let's get rid of this banner really quickly.
Yeah,
that was late in the game. That's the fact that Malachi normally, like any rookie point guard, would have just waited for Pascal. You wait.
And this
for
was the play I was talking about. Sorry to cut you off, but this was the one where Pascal kind of just gave it to him instead of taking. I thought he would take it up the court himself. He was
deferred.
Yeah,
he deferred to him, and Gary Trent Jr. as well is looking, and any rookie point guard is probably looking like, hey, Gary, take this ball for me, or hey, Pascal, take this ball for me. Hey, OG, take this ball for me. Chris Boucher is not getting the ball that late, especially after what he did 30 seconds earlier.
And Chris Boucher shouldn't have even been closing that game. I'm sorry, but that was even a
doesn't make sense. Yeah, it didn't make sense. And a game like that, why is Kem Birch not in the game?
We're about to get to Kem Birch, but let's just get to Kem Birch because he was 5 of 6 from the field, 25 minutes, so one more than Boucher. I thought he was just going to close out the game, and sometimes rotations work weird when you come off the bench like that. It's hard to keep you till the end of the game, but like Kem Birch is well rested. Like it's not like he's been playing every night for the past. Like this guy's been sitting, so I don't think that's like a great excuse. And he didn't close the game. Boucher did instead. Obviously, Boucher missed that really bad 3. Kem Birch had his best game as a Raptor, I would say, pretty clearly. Even though -8, this is a night where plus minus don't really tell you the whole story. He's a team high -8, but like really he was playing with pretty weird groups. He was playing with Freddie Gillespie a lot. I'm still not sure why Nick Nurse is doing that. He was playing mostly with bench groups with 1 or 2 starters max, not much spacing. And I thought he was really good on the boards, good in the pick and roll. We talked about him last game. I still need to see more, of course, but this was a very competent Raptors center game. There was one play in particular where he just kind of made something happen. Oh, he also just showcased everything. He showcased his range a little bit. He knocked one down.
I was about to say that he hit a 3.
Did he hit a 3? I know he hit like a.
You're right. It was a 3, Oren.
Yeah, you're right. He hit a 3. Okay, and he hit like a long mid range too.
Yeah.
He was just, this is what I actually forgot to say earlier. As Raptors fans, we need to count our blessings. And the fact that we no longer have to watch Terrence Davis or Aaron Baines play basketball is a win in its own right, in my opinion.
No. Aaron Baines, Terrence Davis, Stanley Johnson.
Yeah, like we're laughing. We're winning.
Yeah. As much as honestly,
this is our championship.
This is our championship. As much as in the last show I was complaining a lot about Gillespie and Birch playing together, it didn't look all that bad because, in this game at least, I don't want to see it all that often in the future. But I personally didn't know Birch had a shot. I didn't know he could stretch the floor. And this isn't me saying, guys, Birch is some 35 to 40% three-point shooter. But if he can be a guy like Aaron Baines was supposed to be that can hit an open 3, hey, we know that Kem Birch is a lot more active around the glass than Aaron Baines. He has a much better motor. He has a better touch around the rim. It seems like he has a much better skill set just around the rim. I saw some really nice spin moves by Kem Birch tonight.
Just making things happen. Yeah, like what I was saying earlier was just he would make things happen out of nothing, which is not something you'll see from Aaron Baines. Just giving them 2 points when they needed it, when the bench wasn't getting it done. Like you're right, he was doing those spin moves, bank shots. Like he was just giving them stuff when they needed it. And I wanted to interrupt to just say, like, that's one of those weird things where some NBA teams, like, this is a chance that Orlando was just like, no, we don't want you taking threes unless you're like wide open. Like I knew he had a shot. I knew he had like a mid-range shot, but I don't think he did really shoot threes in Orlando. And maybe it's just like, we know that the Raptors tell bigs shoot threes. Like they definitely told Birch, we want you shooting threes. He had 2 tonight. Yeah. And it could, I'm not saying for sure, but it could just be a case where Orlando was like, no. And the Raptors are like, yes. And it's going to take time for him to build up a consistent 3-point shot if that's the case. But it could be promising if it is.
Yeah, this was a very good point made by Mauricio Arenas. He's been commenting quite a bit, so I feel like we got to give him a shout out. It's kind of covering half of our faces, Mauricio. Thanks for the paragraph, though. Too much dependence on threes. OG Pascal, Trent, Boucher, bricks after bricks. Let's drive to the rack, finish, and get foul shots, free throws, and 3-point plays. We're all standing around shooting threes. And this is a good point, Oren, because you look at the team stats from this game. 13 free throws attempted as a team. That for me is insane. Like that cannot happen. I was shocked when I saw Pascal Siakam at 30 points, but only 4 free throws. 4 free throws, Oren, was the most by any player in a Toronto Raptors uniform. Wow. You got 2 from Boucher, 2 from Gary Trent, 2 from Rodney Hood, and 3 from Kem Birch. No free throws at all from Malachi, OG, Gillespie, or Watanabe. That's a problem. You can shoot 39 threes, Toronto. It'd be better if you didn't hit 25% of them. But 13 free throws as a team, that you're not going to win. You're simply just not going to win just chucking up threes all game. Maybe if you're the Houston Rockets of 2017, sure, or 2018, but not the 2021 Toronto Raptors. You're not going to get it done like that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Oren, I have to double check, but I believe that's the season low, 13 team free throws attempted.
It might be, and they also only shot 69% on them. But yeah, I would argue it's the number one problem of this team. Like, it's been even exacerbated since the Norman Powell trade. They've gotten to the rim even less. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'm pretty confident in this. They've gotten to the rim less, and they've definitely seen an uptick in their mid-range shots because Flynn's been playing more. He loves a mid-range. Trent's been playing a lot. He loves a mid-range. Siakam, obviously, tonight was hitting all his mid-ranges, so it was fine, but he likes his mid-range. OG's put a bit of that in. And the guys on the bench, they more or less shoot threes, and they do not get to the rim, which is why Rodney Hood is kind of a nice switch-up. He can create a little bit for himself. But, yeah, like, that's the biggest problem this team has. It's not just the free throws, but they just don't create at-rim opportunities, really, or, like, good floater range opportunities. It's mostly like either threes or mid-range shots. And that's not, there's going to be games like tonight where you shoot 25% and just lose. Even if, like, I would say the Raptors were probably the better team, at least for 3 quarters of that game, the last 3 quarters. But they shot the ball so well. No one other than Siakam can get to the rim. And, like, credit to Siakam, he does it. Like, but when he's the only person doing it, it's not sustainable.
It's not sustainable at all. This would have been a game for me, Oren, where, speaking of Siakam, he had 40 minutes tonight. This would have been a great game for me to not see Chris Boucher get 24 minutes producing like that. Of course, people are going to look at it. Some people are going to say his plus-minus was +3, and the only pluses on the entire team were him and Pascal.
Yeah, they grouped Pascal with him.
That's what I'm saying. So that doesn't work because he was grouped with Pascal. So naturally, you'd know immediately that had very little to do with him. This would have been a game where I'd like to see Kem Birch go from 25 minutes to maybe 35 minutes because I wanted him to get those clutch minutes. And I feel like Nurse owed him that. today, and it seemed like he was one of the only guys that was really making contact at the rim. Malachi Flynn's very, very finesse. He has a very finesse game, where even when he's, driving into you, he's not really driving into you, if that makes sense. He's trying to, jump away or floater or whatever it is. I miss Kyle Lowry, man. I miss Kyle Lowry a whole lot.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not even to say Kyle averaged 10, 15 free throws a game. It's just that I miss Kyle's aggressiveness. And a lot of times, Oren, if you've ever played basketball, yourself, and you've ever been on a team yourself, aggressiveness is something that rubs off. Like if you see other people on your team, attacking the rim relentlessly, it rubs off, and vice versa. If you see your team chucking up threes, you're like, why not? I'm going to chuck up threes. I'm not driving any either. So, it was unfortunate for Toronto that they played a game like this. I genuinely believed, Oren, coming into this game that I just realized we got the score all wrong. Raptors 108, Hawks 103.
Oh,
we're in the twilight zone, guys.
That's my bad, guys.
That's
my bad.
That's all right. Let me do a little boom.
Nice.
Unfortunate enough for Toronto that, again, they couldn't get it done without a Trae Young there and without a John Collins there. And believe it or not, Oren, as crazy as it sounds, Toronto actually out-rebounded Atlanta today, 42 rebounds to 39, even though Clint Capella had 19 of those 39 rebounds. Or 19? Or was it 21 of those rebounds? Excuse me, 21 of those. He had 19 points, 21 rebounds. Damn. What would it be like to have a Clint Capella on the Toronto Raptors?
Clint Capella is so good. They actually got roasted for making that trade at the time because they had centers on their roster. They had John Collins, who they've obviously has decided is more of a 4. They just drafted Onyeka Okongwu, who played 13 minutes tonight. I really liked him coming into the draft.
I love him.
They got roasted for that trade, but I'm pretty sure they gave up just a first-round pick for Clint Capella, like a bad first-round pick. So that's a great trade. The Raptors would be giving up 2 first-round picks for Clint Capella right now. Like that turned out to work really well for them, especially because him and John Collins can play together pretty well. But yeah, tonight there's really no excuses. I thought the Raptors were gonna win for some reason, and like the whole time I was just like, they're playing well. They're gonna at some point they're gonna make this comeback, and the Hawks are not gonna keep shooting well, and they're actually gonna overtake them, and they just didn't. And I give credit to the Hawks for sure for just shooting really well. Their defense was not very good, but they shot really well. And the Raptors, on the other hand, just could never get that three-point shot to go down until it was kind of too late for Flynn.
Yeah, for a team that relies so much on the three-point shot, the Raptors, I mean, they don't really have all that when Kyle and Fred are out. You're really just relying on Gary Trent Jr. as the only consistent shooter from the outside, and OG Anunoby. But again, OG Anunoby's not kind of like Gary Trent Jr., where Gary can create shots. OG's almost, shoot it when you're open.
Well, those two combined, those two went 1 for 12 tonight from
Lord.
the arc. So yeah, that's the thing. You're right. Those are 2 of your best 3-point shooters, and they were both cold tonight.
Ice cold.
I also want to highlight this comment because it's something I've thought about a lot. Like, obviously, the Hawks were without Trae Young, and I'm not even talking about this game specifically, but in general, like, it's going to take some time for the Raptors to kind of look right. Like, they're incorporating Rodney Hood, who just came back from an injury, Gillespie and Birch, who just got here. They're incorporating all these guys at the same time while dealing with injuries to their main players. It's not going to look good right away. And you're right. I thought the Gillespie-Birch lineup was slightly better. I liked Birch and Siakam's chemistry. There was one play where he was just kind of screening and rescreening, and Siakam was just ducking behind him until he found his spot in the mid-range, pulled up and hit a shot. But I still that lineup worked better because it was basically, let's just screen for Siakam and like have big bodies. He can go either way. Like, that was mostly their play. But in general, I want to see Birch with Boucher for sure. See how that one works out. Maybe split them up next game. But yeah,
Birch with Boucher, Gillespie with
Siakam. I mean, yeah, it makes sense in terms of he can kind of prop him up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, let's get Oren to this, because this is something I've been looking forward to for quite a while. Where'd it go? Oh my god, can you guys delete comments? No. Oh, here it is. Matthew Tabone commented. Oh,
my bad.
Commented.
Oh, let me pull it up.
Comment on Trae Young's McDonald's tracksuit. Okay. So I tweeted about this, right, Oren? And for me, if you live with Trae Young, if you're his teammate, his coach, I don't care if you're the equipment manager on the Atlanta Hawks, okay? If you allowed Trae Young to step outside in the public with that outfit on today, you deserve a prison sentence. You deserve a long-term prison sentence. Forget what Trae Young deserves, because at this point, I don't know what the heck he was thinking. It was one of, I honestly, genuinely think, Oren, and I'm not even trying to be funny, I think it was one of the worst outfits I've ever seen on an NBA player in my entire life. And I don't know if anything comes close. I mean, I'd have to, Google right now worst. Let me just Google it right now. Worst NBA outfits. Oh wow! I searched worst NBA outfits, and I'm seeing a lot of Russell Westbrook outfits. Damn.
Yeah, people. I mean, Russ does wear some outrageous stuff.
He also wears some really nice outfits.
Also, yeah. No, in general, I like his style. Kyle Kuzma is trying to be Russ so bad, but people like to hate on Russ.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah, I got
what
it.
In the world is that? What in the world? I need every person on this live stream to look at that.
Is he in on the joke? That's what I'm wondering. Like,
you know what I think? I think it was one of those,
like making a laugh out of him being the small fry.
Exactly. I think Oren is either it was either a joke completely or it was a bet. It had to have been a bet. I don't know if he lost a one-on-one 2K game. Yeah. I don't know if it was a half court. I don't know if he lost a horse game. I don't know what. But if you're his teammate, his equipment manager, his coach, you deserve to be reprimanded for that man deciding to wear that outfit. Or if you sold it to him, if you sold that outfit to him, that's a prison. Like I don't. I was shocked.
This is the problem with capitalism right here. You should not even exist. This outfit shouldn't even be out there to buy. Like, no one should have ever made this outfit. Someone spent their hard time for Trae Young to wear it on a basketball court. That's what's wrong with capitalism.
Jesse brings up a pretty good point, Oren. It just might be a sponsorship thing. He says Trae's getting that McDonald's sponsorship money.
That's a good hypothesis. Yeah.
I mean, he better be getting paid $1 million at this point.
Yeah, like he's very young. He's like what does he sign to? He could sponsor Nike. He could sponsor at least do I don't know. In terms of the fast food chains, who would you want to sponsor if you had to sponsor one fast food
that? Nobody.
No, but you really had to rep for one fast food chain and wear some of their shit. I'm probably going A&W. It's not very cool. I just kind of like their food.
That's I don't know.
Domino's. I rep Domino's.
I'm gonna piss off a lot of people right now. Oren, you ready?
Pizza. If you say pizza.
Oren, I'm about to piss off a lot of people. I'm saying pizza.
No.
I'm saying pizza.
You're not one of those.
Pizza.
You're not one of those monsters, are you?
I am. I 100% most definitely am. I am a pizza monster. Let me know, guys, in the comments what you think about pizza. Oren's anti-pizza, and we have this argument all the time.
I get the garlic dip saves it for sure, but that pizza's just too cardboard.
Okay, but you have to hear me out. The reason I say I like pizza, right, is because it's not necessarily because of the pizza itself. That sounds crazy, right? Because it's the name of the restaurant's pizza. I want everybody in the live comments right now, okay? I want you to close your eyes. No, don't close your eyes. I want you guys to think about all the times pizza has saved.
Hey, Aisha, let us know where you guys are at.
Aisha, you spelled his name wrong, so that doesn't count.
Yeah,
that doesn't count. You spelled his name wrong.
A lot of people do.
But like I was saying, Oren, listen, pizza, you might not like it, but I want you to think about all the times it got you through those very, very dark times. You needed something to eat late at night. You
That's
know, you
facts.
didn't want McDonald's. You didn't want that A&W, down the
Also,
road that's
I've
24 hours.
I've also used their washroom really drunk a few times. Like it saved me in that sense too.
Pizza's there for you. It's there for you when you need it. So that's the way I think about it. I'm not here to claim, Pizza's this top tier.
Yeah, good.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Maybe I am. No, I'm not doing that.
No, I'll give you this. When the pizza's fresh, when it's just whole pizza is made,
yeah.
it's all right. But I'll still take Domino's any day over it.
Domino's. I'm not taking Domino's. No, I'm not with you. I'm not with you. Okay, I'm taking the If you guys haven't had the Domino's pan pizza, I'm taking that. I'm not taking regular Domino's pizza. I'll take Pizza Nova, sure, in terms of the pizza quality. I'm looking at some of the comments. Some people are saying Pizza Hut. Guys, RIP D Rose says Little Caesars goes hard. I haven't had Little Caesars in a few years.
It's whatever.
Yeah. But regardless, guys, if you agree with Oren that you don't like pizza, and if you agree with me that you like pizza, you're on either side. I need you to like the video right now.
Pizza sponsor the show.
Like the video.
I'll like you if you sponsor.
Watch us get sued for saying that. No, I need you to
pretend I like your pizza.
I need you guys to like the video right now because someone just pointed out that we have 70 or 80 people watching the video and we only have 10 likes. So, guys, I need you to like the video right now. Right? You guys are commenting. Click that button. I saw you dislike it last time. I'm not going to point you out. I see you in the chat. I saw you dislike the last show. I know who you are.
Yeah, we know who you guys are. We know where all you guys live. So just don't make mistakes. But anyways, I think that was the show. I think that was the wrap up tonight. What do you think?
That was a good way to wrap it up with the pizza. We'll get back to this, guys. Don't worry. I see all your comments. People are going crazy for Domino's and Abruzzo's and this guy, Matthew's just on a roll saying vegan pizza is trash. I've never even had vegan pizza. Don't piss off the vegans, Matthew.
I agree with you. And gluten-free pizza is also trash. I've been gluten-free for a minute now, and it's really hard to find good pizza. So make better gluten-free pizza. But anyways, this was the wrap up. Thank you all for joining us and commenting on our debate about fast food joints. Thank you to our sponsor, RF Qureshi, for sponsoring the show and supporting us. Appreciate that. Yeah, everyone like the video on YouTube. Do a favor, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and we will be back tomorrow night as the Raptors play the San Antonio Spurs on a back-to-back. You guessed it.
DeMar DeRozan, Oren, I can't wait.
DeMar's gonna hit a buzzer beater on us just for perfect poetic justice.
I love it, and I'll root for him.
Yeah. Well,
take care, guys.